Welcome to my channel. Try to hear the latest story.
She uploaded a TikTok with the caption, "Settling low shapes your soul," featuring me in the background, unaware. Her friends flooded the comments with laughing emojis and remarks like, "Girl, you're so honest for this." I stayed silent, packed my belongings, and left that night. 2 weeks later, her closest friend sent me a screenshot. She'd scrubbed her account of every post and was asking if anyone knew how to contact me. I never imagined I'd be the target of viral shame. Social media has a knack for turning personal moments into public displays, transforming relationships into fodder for views. Emma and I crossed paths at a music festival 3 summers back. I was freelancing as a sound technician for a side stage, and she was snapping photos for a lifestyle blog. We struck up a conversation during a break between sets, swapped numbers, and the rest unfolded naturally. Her creativity, vibrancy, and drive pulled me in. She worked as a content creator for a fashion rental company, styling shoots and building her online following. I'm a sound engineer at an independent studio, a job I'm passionate about, though it doesn't bring wealth or fame. Despite our different worlds, we bonded over shared loves for music and cuisine. 6 months into dating, we moved into her apartment, a practical choice since she had a rent-controlled place in a prime city spot. I covered my share of expenses, but the lease stayed in her name. Everything felt ideal until an algorithm revealed something I wasn't meant to see. It was an ordinary Wednesday. I was scrolling TikTok on my lunch break. I didn't follow Emma's account. Her fashion and lifestyle posts weren't my thing, but we supported each other's careers in other ways. She never pressed me to engage with her content, saying it wasn't aimed at my crowd. That day, a video popped up on my For You page. It was Emma in our living room, lip-syncing to a trending sound about lowering standards. I smiled at first, recognizing our space, until I spotted myself in the background, headphones on, working on a track at my desk. The caption hit like a punch to the gut. "Settling low shapes your soul. #embrace the journey." For a moment, I thought it was a misunderstanding, a joke I didn't catch, but the comments made my heart sink. "Girl, you're so real for this. He's clueless, lol. Invest in a project, but don't stay forever." And Emma's responses, each one worse. "Gotta start somewhere. It's my place anyway. He's nice, but this isn't the endgame." I watched the video again. There I was, oblivious, bobbing my head to the music I was mixing. She'd recorded this while I was in the room, captioned it to demean me, and shared it with her 67,000 followers. The comments piled up. Strangers analyzing my looks, my job, guessing my salary. I recognized some of her friends' usernames, chiming in with laughing emojis and supportive quips. I closed the app, my lunch untouched. Suddenly, everything clicked. Her hesitation to introduce me to her new work contacts, her habit of redirecting conversations away from my job at social gatherings, her nudges about dressing more professionally or finding a higher-paying gig at a mainstream studio. I wasn't her equal. I was her project, her content, her stepping stone. I didn't call or text her. I went back to the studio and poured myself into the session I was working on that afternoon. The artist was recording a heartbreak song, of all things. I channeled my pain and shock into crafting the most polished, emotionally raw mix I could. By the time I got home that evening, I'd made up my mind. Emma was filming in the living room, her ring light casting that flawless glow she meticulously curated. She smiled when she saw me, pausing her video. "Hey, almost done here. Want to order from that sushi spot tonight?" I nodded, walked past her to the bedroom. She didn't follow, just resumed talking to her phone like nothing was amiss. While she wrapped up her content, I quietly packed a single bag. Essentials only: clothes, toiletries, important documents, my laptop. I left behind anything that could be considered ours. No photos, no keepsakes, nothing she'd bought or we'd purchased together. When I stepped out with my bag, she was editing her footage, swiping through filters. "Going somewhere?" she asked, barely glancing up. "Yeah." That caught her attention. She looked at the bag, brow creasing. What's happening? I showed her my phone, open to her TikTok. Settling low shapes your soul? Her face shifted from confusion to realization to something close to guilt, but not quite there. That is just content, babe. It's not deep. She tried to laugh it off. It's just a vibe I play up online. And the comments from your friends? That's a vibe too. She put her phone down, suddenly defensive. You're blowing this out of proportion. Everyone hypes things up for social media. It's not real life. It's real enough that you filmed me without my consent, mocked me to thousands, and let your friends pile on. I grabbed my bag. If I'm dragging you down from the level you think you deserve, I'll step out of your way. Don't be so dramatic, she said, standing now irritated. It's just a dumb video. You're throwing away our relationship over this. Our relationship ended the moment you turned me into content instead of a partner. I walked to the door. I'll arrange to pick up the rest of my stuff later. Wait, where are you going? We need to talk. Her voice grew frantic as reality hit. This is my apartment too. Exactly. Your apartment, as you made clear in your comments. I'm sure you'll manage without my share of the rent. I turned back one last time. I hope the likes were worth it. She called after me as I left, her voice rising in panic. I didn't respond. I got in my car and drove to a friend's place, where I'd arranged to stay while I sorted out my next steps. That night, my phone lit up with messages from Emma, defensive at first. It was just a joke. Then angry. You're proving my point by being so fragile. Then tearful apologies. Please come back. I'll delete it. I sent one reply. I deserve better than being someone's punchline or stepping stone. Don't contact me again. Then I blocked her. The next day at the studio, I threw myself into work. The owner, Marco, sensed something was wrong but didn't push. He just handed me a tough project, a singer with flawless pitch but shaky timing, and said, "Thought you'd want something to sink your teeth into." I was thankful for the distraction and his quiet support. That evening, Emma's old roommate, Lila, messaged me. We'd always clicked, bonding over our love for obscure jazz that Emma found too chaotic. Just checking on you, she wrote. What Emma did was awful. A few of us have called her out privately. I appreciated it but kept my reply short. I didn't want to fuel drama or turn her friends against her. I just wanted space to heal and move on. 3 days later, something unexpected happened. The artist whose breakup song I'd mixed the day I saw the TikTok shared a clip on Instagram, tagging me and the studio. It gained traction in our local music scene. Not viral, but enough to catch industry eyes. By week's end, my professional Instagram followers had doubled, mostly local artists and producers. Marco called me into his office that Monday. That track's getting buzz, he said, leaning back. 3 indie labels called asking who mixed it. I nodded, unsure where this was headed. Riverside Records wants to offer you a 6-month contract gig, working with their up-and-coming artists. My jaw dropped. Riverside was a top-tier indie label in the area, the kind of break sound engineers dream of. It's based in Portland, Marco added. I'd hate to lose you, but this is a no-brainer opportunity. I was floored. When do they need an answer? End of the week. They sent the details already. I spent the next few days weighing the offer, talking to industry contacts, fine-tuning terms. It was real, solid, a potential game changer. By Friday, I'd signed on. That weekend, I arranged to grab the rest of my stuff from Emma's place while she was at a content creator event. A mutual friend oversaw things to keep it smooth. I took only what was undeniably mine, leaving behind even gifts she'd given me. As I packed the last of my gear, my friend looked uneasy. You should know Emma's been struggling. Her engagement tanked after she deleted that TikTok and other posts with that vibe. Some brand deals are paused. I paused. She deleted it? Yeah, and others. Her followers turned on her when the hype faded. People called it cruel and toxic. A few bigger creators stitched it, pointing it out as a relationship red flag. I hadn't sought revenge or public vindication. I just walked away from a situation where I wasn't valued. The fallout happened on its own, the natural consequence of posting cruelty for clout. I'm not cheering for her to fail, I said honestly. I just couldn't stay with someone who saw me like that. My friend nodded. For what it's worth, I think she's genuinely sorry. Not just for the backlash, but for what she did. Maybe, but regret couldn't undo the betrayal. 2 weeks after I left, as I was finalizing my move to Portland, Lila sent me a screenshot of Emma's private Instagram story. A black screen with text. Does anyone know how to reach Sam? It's urgent. Lila's message read, Heads up, she's trying to find you. She heard about the Riverside deal through someone at the studio and is telling everyone she always saw your potential. I thanked Lila but didn't act. Emma's sudden interest now that my career was rising confirmed everything about her character. 3 days before my move, she found my work email through the studio's site. Sam, please, we need to talk. I screwed up, I know. It was just dumb content for views, not how I feel. I'm so proud of your new gig. I always knew you were gifted. Please let me fix this. I miss you. I love you. I sat with the email for a day before replying. Emma, I wish you success and happiness. What happened wasn't a misunderstanding or a joke gone wrong. It was a lack of respect. This job doesn't define my worth, just as your TikTok didn't. I'm the same person doing work I love. The difference is I now know my value. Please don't reach out again. I moved to Portland the next week. The Riverside gig was intense, thrilling, everything I'd hoped for professionally. I found a modest but cozy apartment, made new connections, and started dating again carefully with stronger boundaries. 6 months later, when my contract was extended and then made permanent, I reflected on how one TikTok had upended my life. I heard updates about Emma through mutual friends. She'd shifted her content to focus on genuine relationships and self-improvement, posting apology videos and critiquing toxic online culture, ironically gaining more followers than before. She never named me or mentioned the incident, but those in the know understood. Recently, I mixed a track getting steady radio play in the Northwest. In a short interview with a local music blog, the writer asked if there was a pivotal moment in my career. There was a time I had to choose between seeking approval or honoring my principles. I said, choosing principles opened the door for everything else. I didn't mention Emma, TikTok, or settling low. The lesson was what mattered. Sometimes the strongest response to public shame isn't a loud comeback or a call-out. It's walking away, focusing on your growth, and letting the world sort itself out. I didn't need to tear Emma down to rise. Leaving with my dignity was statement enough. Update. Since this story gained attention, I want to clarify something. This isn't about career success proving someone's worth. I'd have left regardless of what came next professionally. The job offer's timing was chance, not cosmic justice. The real growth was realizing my value didn't hinge on someone else's view or online metrics. For those asking, yes, Emma eventually sent a proper apology. A private, sincere message owning the pain she caused. No excuses or attempts to reconnect. I appreciated the closure. We don't talk, but I hold no grudge. Life's too short, and honestly, that TikTok led me to where I needed to be. Just not in the way either of us imagined.